Hi, this is a tutorial on how to change a black color to a dark value to a color, or a black value, a black object to a color. Whereas you can see here, I have these black boxing gloves, and I want to change them into to red. Alright, so I want to make them look as close to this as I can. But the problem is when you're dealing with, you know, black or white, they are technically not colors. If you change the hue of something, you notice you have red, green, blue, purple, and things like that. But you don't actually see a black or white in that slider, because technically hue is color, is pure color, and the value is dark or light, black or white. All right, so what we're going to do is make changing the color of black or white is sort of like multiplying times 0. 10 times 0 is 0, 1,000 times 0 is 0. If you're multiplying it by 0, nothing happens, and that's what black or white will do. So that's the problem here, and I've done a little searching, trying to figure out different ways of doing this, and I found this one way that seems to work here on this car from this guy. His name is Ecode, and this video is Photoshop change the color. You can search color of a black car. You can just search that on YouTube and you can find it, and I found this one very useful. And he starts out with a black car. He made his selection, and then he filled it with a neutral tone brown, and then from there he added an adjustment layer, and he began changing he didn't add an adjustment layer. He went to hue, saturation, and he checked colorize. That was important, and he began changing the colors. And then later he went on to adjust that image, and he wanted the image adjustments and color balance, and made some further changes. But again, this guy's name is Ecode, and you can find this video here if you want to see this technique. I'm going to show you something a little bit different. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, actually I don't need this because I'm going to toss this layer. Cancel. I'm going to toss this layer because I was going to actually do that, but that got me through quickly, and you can find that video. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I've already made my selection, and I can go up here to right here. You can see the type of adjustment I'm going to choose, and if I hover over this little gradient right here, it says gradient mask. Alright, gradient map. So I'm just going to click on that, and it applied that automatic mask on top of the gradient. Alright, so here is my mask. It was like my default color, the color that I already had here. My color panel was in my swatches was brown, so I'm just going to click on that, and I'm going to change this color to red. Alright, although I wonder, okay, so I'm just going to change this color to red. I can either click here and change it, or I can just double click on that color chip, and I'm going to go down here because I want it. See, I have like these gloves here to sort of match the color. Let's see if it's better. Okay, that looks about right. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. Actually, I'm going to come out of this. I'm going to just hit OK since I've already started. But the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to change this adjustment layer to I believe it was screen, or was it color dodge? No, it was screen. Alright, so I'm going to change that to screen, because rather than normal, it adds a little bit more punch. It sort of lightens it up a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into this and fix my color. Okay, so there's my red, and you can see everything is very red, and all those black values have disappeared. Alright, so I'm going to try to bring some of those back. So if you notice, these on this gradient map, these are the highlights. So if I change the color to this to blue, these highlighted areas are going to change to blue. So let's just as a quick demonstration, I'm going to change those to blue. Hit OK. And now you can see they're still highlights, but they have this sort of a blue tinge. Alright, so I'm going to change that back to, come on, get back. Double click, back to white. Alright. Okay, and now I'm going to move this over. Alright, so again, if I move this over, you can see it's pushing those reds toward the higher end of that value, and I'm losing some of that highlight, but I'm gonna push this back down there. I just want to show that. And now I'm gonna just click here one time and I get a new box. All right, and I want to change the color of this red to black. All right, because again, these are the darkest values, so this is where it's darkest. So I'm gonna double click on that. Actually, that's not working well. I'll just change it here. All right, I'm gonna make that black. Hit, and I'm gonna hit OK. Okay, so now you can see it added those blacks back into here because it's making those darkest values black. So I'm sort of cheating, but you can see it doesn't look natural. These gloves actually look very iridescent, you know, like a beetle's back or something. So I gotta adjust these sliders till I can get rid of this the values in here, the dark color, and get this as pure red as I can, because you can see this is a black glove and this is a red glove, and I'm trying to, you know, there's no black in here. You just see black in these little areas here. Again, I'm not going to be able to achieve that quite, you know, that kind of realism, but I can get close. And if I can get close and people don't notice because I'm not doing anything that's unnatural, you might, you know, I can make it believable. I think I can get close enough to make this believable. So again, I'm watching these tones here, these dark areas here that make this look iridescent. Again, if you want him to look like he has on, you know, he's got his bling gloves on where they have that iridescent color, you know, you can leave that. You can actually increase that, and it looks kind of funky. All right, but I'm going to drop this till it starts to lose that iridescent look. All right. Okay, so let's see, I'm just going to play. See, now I can increase this black here, and it's expanding, but I'm not happy with that, so I'm just going to drop that back. And this isn't bad. Let me play with this red a little bit, deep in that red. That looks a little better. Okay, and then I'm going to hit OK. All right, so I'm not 100% satisfied with this, but I think it looks fine. If I come up with a color that I like right here, I can just stop. But I'm going to take it an extra step further. This isn't necessary, but I'm going to go to Hue and Saturation. Add another adjustment layer. And from here, I can adjust this further. Okay, so if I'm not happy with that color, I can tweak that. I need to make this adjustment layer, because it's affecting this adjustment layer, affecting the skin tone and everything, you know, so it's affecting the entire thing. So I'm going to hold the Option key, hover over that line, and I'm just going to clip it to this adjustment layer. So now it's only affecting what's below it. So now when I make those adjustments, it's only affecting the gloves. All right, so from here, I'm quite comfortable. I can tweak these gloves till I get a color, you know, and it's much more easy to deal with. And I can increase the saturation. I can reduce the saturation. All right, so I'm just going to increase that back up. And let's see the lightness. Okay, I'm going to drop that lightness a little bit. These are starting to look pretty natural. I mean, I'm not 100% happy with, you know, if I zoom in, you know, it looks a little bitmappy. Say, if I had a better quality picture, this probably wouldn't be such a problem, but I can also go back into this and say with a smudge tool and kind of smudge over these to make them more natural if I want to really get into that. But I think overall changing the color, that this is successful. And that's it.